National Pig Day is celebrated on March 1st each year in the United States. It was started in 1972 by two sisters, Ellen Stanley and Mary Lynn Rave, to recognize and appreciate pigs as intelligent social animals. Here are some fun and surprising pig facts. Pigs are as intelligent as dogs and can learn tricks, solve puzzles, and even play video games with joysticks. They remember locations, recognize people, and can recall objects years later. Despite the stereotype, pigs are very clean. They designate separate areas for sleeping and going to the bathroom. Their sense of smell is stronger than dogs, which is why they're used to finding truffles underground. Pigs love companionship and can develop strong bonds with both humans and other animals. Pigs can run up to 11 miles per hour, fast enough to keep up with an average human jogger. They enjoy water and can swim well. Some islands even have swimming pigs, like in the Bahamas. National Egg McMuffin Day is celebrated on March 2nd each year. McDonald's created this day to honor its iconic breakfast sandwich, which was first introduced in 1971 by Herb Peterson in Santa Barbara, California. Peterson wanted to make a quick-service breakfast sandwich that resembled Eggs Benedict, but was easy to eat on the go. The sandwich uses a toasted English muffin, a round egg, Canadian bacon, and American cheese. 1972, the Egg McMuffin is officially introduced at select McDonald's locations. In 1975, McDonald's rolls out breakfast nationwide, with Egg McMuffin leading the menu. In the 1980s and 1990s, the McDonald's breakfast menu expands with items like hotcakes, breakfast burritos, and McGriddles. In 2015, McDonald's launches all-day breakfast, allowing customers to get Egg McMuffins at any time of the day. In 2020, McDonald's created National Egg McMuffin Day on March 2nd to celebrate the sandwich. The Iditarod Trail Sled Dog Race is an annual long-distance sled dog race held in Alaska, covering approximately 1,000 miles from Anchorage to Nome. It typically begins on the first Saturday in March and lasts between 8 to 15 days, depending on conditions and the speed of the mushers and their teams. The race was inspired by the 1925 serum run to Nome, when mushers and their sled dogs raced to deliver diphtheria medicine to the town, saving countless lives. The modern Iditarod was founded by Joe Reddington Sr. and was first run in 1973 to preserve sled dog culture and Alaskan history. The most famous sled dogs from the serum run, with Balto becoming a legendary symbol and Togo being recognized as the true endurance hero of the journey. Terrain: harsh Alaskan wilderness, including mountains, frozen rivers, and icy tundra. Teams: each musher starts with 14 to 16 dogs and must finish with at least 5. Oh, jeez, that's sad. Toy Soldier Day is celebrated on March 4th each year. Despite the name, it is not about traditional toy soldiers, but rather a fan-created event dedicated to the Spy Kids-inspired performance art group The Toy Soldiers and other cosplay, LARPing, and fandom communities. Founded in 2003 by fans of Dr. Steele, a musician and performance artist who created a fictional army of toy soldiers as part of his artistic persona, the day promotes creativity, cosplay, and playful rebellion against a mundane world. Participants dress in military-inspired or steampunk attire, engage in role-playing, and celebrate fandom culture. Fans of sci-fi, fantasy, and steampunk genres engage in immersive activities. Some groups organize events from casual gatherings to elaborate performances. Many use the day as an excuse for themed role-playing games, table RPGs, or reenactments. Some groups use the occasion to promote creative projects, fundraisers, or local events. National Cheese Doodle Day is celebrated every year on March 5th to honor the crunchy, cheesy, and addictive snack that has been a favorite for decades. Cheese doodles were invented by Maury Yoha in 1956 while he was working at Old London Foods, a company based in Long Island, New York. The snack was created using cornmeal that was extruded into puffed shapes and then coated in a cheese-flavored powder. This process was inspired by similar snacks that existed at the time, but Yoha's version stood out for its distinct cheesy flavor and crunch. Initially, they were called Cheesy Puffs, but the name Cheese Doodles came to be associated with them over time. Cheese Doodles became popular as a convenient, tasty snack, and by the 1960s, they were widely available in supermarkets. As the product gained more popularity, it was picked up by Wise Foods, a large snack company, which helped make Cheese Doodles a household name. Today, it's still a favorite among snack lovers worldwide. National Oreo Day is celebrated on March 6th each year to honor one of the most iconic cookies in history, the Oreo. The Oreo cookie was introduced by the National Biscuit Company, later known as Nabisco, on March 6th of 1912. It was created by Sam Porcello, a food chemist who worked on perfecting the filling and flavor combination for Nabisco. The cookie was initially made to compete with a similar cookie called the Hydrox, which had been introduced earlier. The original Oreo cookie had 2 chocolate wafer cookies with a sweet creamy filling in the middle. The cookie's design, which included an imprinted Oreo logo and a unique pattern, has remained largely the same, though it has evolved slightly over the years. Oreos quickly became a bestseller. They were originally sold in a tin can, but later began to be packaged in a more practical cardboard box in the 1950s. Over the years, Oreo grew into the best-selling cookie in the world with a massive global reach. Today, it is sold in more than 100 countries. National Tartar Sauce Day is celebrated on March 8th each year to honor the tangy, creamy condiment that's a classic pairing for seafood dishes like fish and chips or fried shrimp. International Fanny Pack Day is celebrated on the first Friday of March, which this year falls on March 7th. This quirky and fun day honors the fanny pack, a small wearable pouch that's strapped around the waist, often used for carrying essentials like money, keys, and phone. The fanny pack became popular in the 1980s and 1990s as a practical hands-free way to carry personal items while traveling or walking around. The design of the fanny pack dates back further, with early versions appearing in the 1960s, but it was during the 1980s that it truly gained widespread popularity, especially with tourists and outdoor enthusiasts. The name fanny pack is primarily used in the United States, while people in the UK and other countries often refer to it as a bum bag. I just like to say fanny pack. Fanny pack. It makes me giggle. It's got the word fanny in it. National American Paddlefish Day is observed on March 9th each year. It was established to raise awareness about the American paddlefish, one of the oldest surviving fish species in North America. Paddlefish are known for their distinctive long, paddle-shaped snouts and are often called primitive fish because their lineage dates back over 300 million years. They are native to rivers and lakes in the Mississippi River Basin from Montana to Louisiana. The paddle-shaped snout is covered in electroceptors, allowing them to detect tiny electric fields produced by plankton, their primary food source. Instead of biting prey, paddlefish filter feed by swimming with their mouths open to trap plankton. Paddlefish can live for more than 30 years, with some recorded over 60 years old. This day highlights the importance of conservation efforts for paddlefish as they face threats from habitat loss, overfishing, and environmental changes. Some states also engage in restocking programs to maintain their populations. Fill Our Staplers Day is observed twice a year on the Monday after the time change, once in March after daylight savings time begins, and once in November after standard time resumes. This observance serves as a lighthearted reminder to refill staplers, ensuring workplaces, schools, and offices stay prepared. The first known stapler dates back to the 18th century in France. It was created for King Louis XV, and each staple was handcrafted with the royal insignia. In 1841, Samuel Slocum patented a device to fasten pins to paper, which was an early step toward the modern stapler. The first stapler that could insert and bend a staple in one action was patented in 1866 by George McGill. In 1879, McGill introduced the McGill single-stroke staple press, capable of binding paper with a metal fastener. In 1937, the Swingline brand introduced a stapler with an easy loading mechanism, making refilling staples more convenient. National Promposal Day is celebrated on March 11th each year. It is a fun day dedicated to the tradition of asking someone to prom in a creative, often elaborate way, known as a promposal. National Promposal Day is officially recognized by the National Day calendar. The day was created in 2015 by Men's Warehouse, an American retail store. The word promenade referred to a formal gathering or parade in the 19th century where young people would show off their social status and behavior. In early American society, prom was not the same as the modern high school dance. Instead, it was part of debutante balls or formal balls for young adults, usually young women making their debut in society. By the early 20th century, high schools started holding formal dances or events at the end of the year to celebrate the graduating class. These events were initially much less extravagant and more casual compared to today's modern proms. And it morphed into all the bells and whistles that we all know of the prom today. Alfred Hitchcock Day is celebrated on August 13th to honor the birthday of the legendary British film director Alfred Hitchcock, who was born on this day in 1899. Known as the master of suspense, Hitchcock revolutionized the thriller and suspense genres with his innovative filmmaking techniques and storytelling. Hitchcock's career began in the silent film era in the 1920s. He joined Islington Studios as a draftsman and later as a title card designer, which introduced him to filmmaking. In 1925, he worked as an assistant director on the silent film The Pleasure Garden. He slowly made his way up the ranks, gaining experience in script writing, editing, and directing. His first significant film as a director was The Lodger, a story of the London fog in 1927, a suspense thriller about a mysterious man who may be a murderer. This film established Hitchcock's signature themes of innocent people caught in unsettling situations. National Earmuff Day is celebrated on February 13th each year. The day honors the invention of the earmuff, a practical and essential accessory, especially during cold weather. Earmuffs were invented by Chester Greenwood in 1873 when he was just 15 years old. He was from Farmington, Maine, and came up with the idea after struggling to keep his ears warm during the cold winter months while ice skating. Greenwood designed a pair of wool-lined wire loops that fit snugly over his ears and were held in place with a band that went over his head. He patented his design in 1877 and went on to manufacture and sell them, gaining significant popularity. After patenting his invention, Chester Greenwood began manufacturing earmuffs in Farmington, Maine, and selling them across the United States. Greenwood's earmuffs became a success, and he went on to establish a successful company that produced them. The invention of earmuffs became so iconic that in 1977, the town of Farmington, Maine declared February 13th as National Earmuff Day in honor of Chester Greenwood's invention. National Potato Chip Day is celebrated on March 14th each year. It's a day to honor one of the most popular and beloved snack foods, potato chips. The invention of the potato chip is often attributed to George Crumb, a chef at Moon's Lake House in Saratoga Springs, New York. According to legend, in 1853, a wealthy and somewhat picky customer complained that the fried potatoes Crumb had served him were too thick and soggy. Frustrated by the complaint, Crumb decided to slice the potatoes very thin, fry them crisply, and add extra salt. When the customer tasted these crispy, crunchy fries, he loved them, and the dish became an instant hit. These fried thin slices of potato were originally called Saratoga chips, named after the town where they were created, and they became popular at that restaurant. The first known commercial potato chip production began with Laura Scudder in 1920. Scudder is credited with being the first to package potato chips in sealed bags, ensuring freshness and giving the snack a longer shelf life.
From the world's #1 potato chip, new Lay's ketchup. Taste tangy tomato from America. Lay's, open a world of flavor.
Lay's, one of the most famous potato chip brands today, began mass-producing chips in 1932. Herman Lay started selling chips in Atlanta, Georgia, and by the 1940s, Lay's became a leading brand across the U.S. After World War II, potato chips became a popular snack across America, especially with the advent of more packaged and processed foods. Frito-Lay, a company formed by the merger of the Frito Company and Lay's in 1961, became one of the largest snack companies in the world. Potato chips grew beyond just being a salty snack and began to be offered in various flavors, including barbecue, sour cream and onion, and cheddar. The range of flavors helped appeal to different tastes and regional preferences.
We mad because I know when to leave a party, I'm just as illegal as you guys. Besides, I knew the cops would let you go. Oh, he is freaking. Again, he is freaking.
Hey, I'm doing this right now. National Voiceover Day, observed on March 15th, is widely celebrated for its contribution to entertainment, advertising, and media. Many in the industry use days like World Voice Day to highlight the importance of vocal performance. Voiceover refers to the art of using one's voice for narrating, acting, or performing without being seen on screen. It is widely used in animated films and TV shows, video games, commercials and advertisements, audiobooks, radio and podcasts, dubbing for foreign films, announcements, and automated voice systems. National Voiceover Day began as a tribute to the talents of voiceover artists who work behind the scenes to make characters, commercials, and stories come alive. Launched by the National Association of Voice Actors, the day highlights both the art and the hard work involved in this unique profession. National Panda Day is celebrated on March 16th each year to raise awareness about giant pandas and the conservation efforts needed to protect them. Here are some facts about panda bears. Pandas are native to China. They mainly eat bamboo. About 99% of their diet consists of bamboo, though they occasionally eat small animals, eggs, or fruit. Pandas have an extra thumb. They have a special wrist bone that acts like a thumb, helping them grip bamboo stalks easily. They spend most of their time eating. Pandas eat for 12 to 16 hours a day and consume 26 to 84 pounds of bamboo daily. They are excellent climbers and swimmers. Even though they look slow, pandas can climb trees and swim very well. Newborn pandas are tiny. A baby panda is about the size of a stick of butter when born and is completely blind and pink. Pandas do not hibernate. Unlike other bears, pandas don't store fat for winter, so they remain active year-round. Thanks to efforts by conservationists, their status improved from endangered to vulnerable in 2016. Evacuation Day, observed annually on March 17th in Massachusetts, particularly in Boston and Suffolk County. Following the outbreak of the Revolutionary War in April of 1775, American forces surrounded Boston, initiating what became known as the Siege of Boston. For nearly 11 months, the Continental Army attempted to force the British Army, led by General William Howe, out of the city. The turning point came in March 1776 when American troops strategically placed cannons on Dorchester Heights, a position that overlooked Boston Harbor. These cannons, which have been transported from Fort Ticonderoga under the leadership of Henry Knox, gave the American forces a tactical advantage, threatening to bombard the British fleet. With no viable military counteraction, General Howe chose to evacuate the city. On March 17th of 1776, the British troops and Loyalist supporters boarded ships and withdrew from Boston to Nova Scotia, marking a significant victory for the American revolutionaries.
How long do I hold a grudge, you know? And then, because at a certain point, your parents, they're just getting older and you're missing out on whatever there is there.
Forgive Mom and Dad Day is observed annually on March 18th as a day to encourage healing, understanding, and forgiveness between children and their parents. It's a reminder that no parent is perfect, and that letting go of the past grievances can lead to emotional growth and stronger family bonds. Why is it important? It promotes emotional healing. Holding on to resentment can cause stress and prevent personal growth. Encourages understanding. Parents often do their best with the knowledge and resources they have. Strengthens family relationships. Forgiveness fosters better communication and deeper connections. Helps let go of the past. Moving forward allows for personal peace and healthier mental well-being. Ask yourself, is it worth it? Sometimes you just let it go. Forgive Mom and Dad. They do the best they can. National Stretch Mark Day, celebrated on March 19th every year, is dedicated to honoring, embracing, and celebrating our stretch marks. Facts about stretch marks. Stretch marks are common. Nearly 80% of people develop stretch marks at some point in their lives. They occur when the skin stretches too quickly. Rapid growth, pregnancy, weight fluctuations, and puberty can cause the collagen and elastin fibers in the skin to break, leading to stretch marks. They can appear anywhere, though most common on the stomach, thighs, hips, breasts, arms, and lower back. Stretch marks can develop anywhere on the body. They start off red, purple, or pink. Fresh stretch marks often appear as vibrant colors due to blood vessels beneath the skin. Over time, they fade into a lighter, silvery shade. They are not harmful. Stretch marks are purely cosmetic and do not pose any health risks. They are a sign of growth and change. Instead of seeing stretch marks as flaws, many embrace them as a symbol of strength, growth, and life's journey. National Ravioli Day is celebrated every year on March 20th to honor the delicious Italian pasta dish known as ravioli. The idea of stuffing pasta can be traced back to ancient Roman times, where recipes from as early as 200 BC mention variations of stuffed pasta. Romans are believed to have made a dish similar to ravioli, sometimes called lagana, by placing meat or cheese inside layers of dough and boiling them. By the Middle Ages, ravioli began to take on a more recognizable form. Recipes from this period describe pasta that was stuffed with cheese, herbs, and vegetables. Some food historians believe that ravioli evolved from Venetian cuisine, where a form of stuffed pasta was introduced through the cultural exchanges between Venice and the Middle East. Ravioli's widespread popularity took off in the 20th century with the mass production of pasta. In the 1950s, canned ravioli became widely available, with Chef Boyardee being one of the most famous producers of prepackaged ravioli in the United States. World Puppetry Day is celebrated every year on March 21st to honor the ancient art of puppetry and its cultural significance across the globe. It is a day to recognize and appreciate the craftsmanship, storytelling, and creativity that puppetry brings to the world. World Puppetry Day was established in 2003 by the United Nations Educational, Scientific, and Cultural Organization to recognize the art of puppetry and its impact on the arts, education, and culture. Puppetry has been a form of entertainment and communication for thousands of years, with origins in ancient civilizations like China, India, Greece, and Egypt. Puppetry is a powerful medium for telling stories, passing down traditions, and addressing social issues in a way that engages audiences of all ages. Each culture has its own distinct style and technique of puppetry, such as shadow puppets in Indonesia, marionettes in Europe, and hand puppets in the Middle East. International Seal Day is celebrated annually on March 22nd to raise awareness about the importance of seals in the marine ecosystems and to promote their conservation. This day highlights the challenges faced by seals, including habitat loss, pollution, and overfishing, while also celebrating these fascinating marine mammals. Here are some interesting facts about seals. Seals can live 15 to 30 years depending on the species. The oldest recorded seal was a harbor seal that lived for 45 years in captivity. Some species, like the Weddell seal, can dive to depths of over 2,000 feet. They can hold their breath for several minutes, with some species able to stay submerged for up to 30 minutes. Seals communicate with each other using a variety of vocalizations such as barks, grunts, and growls. These sounds help them with mating, territory disputes, and socializing with their colonies. Seals have excellent vision both above and below water. Their eyes are adapted to help them see clearly underwater, where they can hunt for fish, squid, and crustaceans. Near Miss Day, celebrated annually on March 23rd, marks the anniversary of the close approach of asteroid 4581 Asclepius to Earth in 1989. This event, while not resulting in an impact, served as a dramatic demonstration of the potential threat posed by near-Earth objects. Discovered after its closest pass, 4581 Asclepius would have caused devastation on a continental scale had it collided with Earth. This realization galvanized the scientific community and the public, emphasizing the need for improved detection and tracking systems for asteroids. Near Miss Day is more than just a commemoration, it's a call to action. It serves to raise awareness. In essence, Near Miss Day is a moment to acknowledge our planet's vulnerability and to appreciate the ongoing efforts to protect it. It is a reminder that while we may feel secure on our planet, we are still subject to forces of the cosmos, and that vigilance and preparedness are essential for our continued survival. It is a day to be grateful and a day to learn. World Tuberculosis Day is observed every year on March 24th to raise awareness about tuberculosis, TB, a disease that still affects millions of people worldwide. On March 24th of 1882, Dr. Robert Koch, a German microbiologist, announced the discovery of the bacterium Mycobacterium tuberculosis, the cause of tuberculosis. His discovery helped establish the link between bacteria and infectious diseases, paving the way for modern medical research and understanding of TB. World Tuberculosis Day was first observed in 1982, a century after Dr. Koch's discovery, to raise awareness about TB's continued global impact, highlight the efforts to eliminate it, and encourage prevention and treatment strategies worldwide. Tuberculosis is one of the world's leading infectious diseases. It remains a major health problem, particularly in developing countries. The BCG vaccine, which is used to protect against tuberculosis, was developed in the 1920s and remains one of the most widely administered vaccines in the world. National Medal of Honor Day is observed on March 25th each year to honor the bravery, sacrifice, and dedication of those who have been awarded the Medal of Honor, the United States' highest military decoration. This day highlights the extraordinary acts of courage and heroism that the medal represents, and it serves as a reminder of the sacrifices made by service members for their country. The Medal of Honor was established during the Civil War in 1861 by President Abraham Lincoln to recognize members of the U.S. Army who exhibited acts of valor above and beyond the call of duty. It is awarded to military personnel who distinguish themselves through acts of heroism in combat that go far beyond the call of duty, often at great personal risk. While the Medal of Honor can be awarded to members of any branch of the U.S. military, it is typically presented by the President of the United States on behalf of Congress. This day encourages Americans to reflect on the importance of service and sacrifice in preserving the freedoms we enjoy, as well as to honor those who have made the ultimate sacrifice for their country. Air Max Day is celebrated annually on March 26th to honor the iconic Nike Air Max sneakers, which revolutionized the sneaker world with their innovative design and technology. The day celebrates the Air Max line of shoes, particularly highlighting its history, design, and impact on both the fashion and sports industries. The first Nike Air Max sneaker was released in 1987 and was designed by Tinker Hatfield, who is also behind other iconic Nike designs like the Air Jordan. The Air Max 1 was designed after Tinker Hatfield visited the Centre Pompidou in Paris, which inspired the visible air cushioning concept. The building's exposed pipes and structural elements helped Hatfield envision the idea of making the air sole visible in the sneaker design. The Air Max sneakers were the first to feature a visible air sole unit in the heel, a revolutionary design that allowed consumers to see the cushioning technology which had previously been hidden inside the sole. This change offered both style and performance benefits. Scientists at Pfizer's research lab in Kent, England, were developing a drug to treat hypertension, which is high blood pressure, and angina, which is chest pain caused by heart disease. The drug, known as UK-92480, sildenafil, was designed to relax blood vessels and improve circulation. During clinical trials, researchers noticed that while the drug had limited effects on heart conditions, it had unexpected side effects. It helped men achieve and maintain an erection. Pfizer patented sildenafil for the treatment of erectile dysfunction. The U.S. Food and Drug Administration, the FDA, approved Viagra, making it the first oral treatment for ED. The drug became an instant success with over 150,000 prescriptions written in its first 2 weeks. By 2000, Viagra had generated over $1 billion in annual sales. The little blue pill has been prescribed to millions of men worldwide, making it one of the most successful prescription drugs in history. National Something on a Stick Day is a fun and quirky food holiday celebrated on March 28th each year. The day highlights all kinds of foods served on sticks, from sweet treats like popsicles to savory favorites like corn dogs, kebabs, and skewered meats. Food on a stick is convenient, portable, and often less messy. Skewered meats and veggies cook evenly and are a favorite for summer barbecues. Many state fairs and street food vendors specialize in serving creative foods on sticks. It's a great excuse to experiment with different foods on skewers, from fruit kebabs to deep-fried delicacies. Some classic and unique foods often enjoyed on a stick: corn dogs, kebabs, chicken skewers, mozzarella sticks, shrimp skewers, deep-fried everything, popsicles, cotton candy, chocolate dip bananas, cake pops, marshmallow pops. Oh my god, so delicious, so yummy. Oh my god. It's just a big stick-induced orgasm in your mouth. Oh. National Smoke and Mirrors Day, observed on March 29th, is a day dedicated to illusion, deception, and trickery, whether it's magic, storytelling, or even everyday life. The phrase smoke and mirrors refers to misleading or deceptive practices. This phrase originally comes from stage magic, where magicians use smoke and reflective surfaces to create optical illusions. The term smoke and mirrors is often used to describe situations where things are not as they seem, whether it's politics, business, or entertainment. Magicians and illusionists have used smoke and mirrors for centuries to create seemingly impossible tricks. In a broader sense, the day highlights the importance of critical thinking, encouraging people to look beyond illusion in media, advertising, and everyday situations. Stage magic dates back to ancient times, with illusionists using tricks to entertain and mystify audiences. The use of smoke and reflective glass became a key part of the 19th century magic shows, helping magicians perform astonishing tricks. National Pencil Day is celebrated annually on March 30th, one of the most essential writing and drawing tools in history. This day marks the anniversary of March 30th, 1858, when Hyman Lippmann received the first U.S. patent for a pencil with an attached eraser, a design that remains widely used today. Before pencils, people used charcoal, chalk, and metal styluses to write on surfaces like papyrus and wood. In the late 1700s, Nicolas Jacques Conte, a French inventor, developed a process of mixing graphite with clay and baking it, creating the durable pencil core still used today. The average pencil can write about 45,000 words or draw a line 35 miles long. Pencils don't actually contain lead, they use graphite, which is a form of carbon. The term lead pencil came from early misconceptions about graphite. The yellow pencil tradition began in the late 1800s when manufacturers painted pencils yellow to signify high-quality Chinese graphite. Eiffel Tower Day is celebrated on March 31st to commemorate the day. The iconic Eiffel Tower was officially completed in 1889. Designed by Gustave Eiffel's company, the construction began in 1887, and after just 2 years, 2 months, and 5 days, it was completed on March 31st of 1889. Gustave Eiffel himself climbed to the top on this day and planted the French flag, marking its official opening. The Eiffel Tower stands at 1,083 feet tall, making it the tallest structure in Paris. The Eiffel Tower was the tallest man-made structure in the world until the Chrysler Building in New York surpassed it in 1930. The Eiffel Tower shrinks by about 6 inches in cold weather due to metal contraction. The Eiffel Tower is repainted every 7 years, requiring about 60 tons of paint to maintain its iconic look. During World War II, when the Nazis occupied Paris, the French cut the elevator cables in the Eiffel Tower to prevent Hitler from reaching the top.